Yo, what's happening? We back again. It's the Boxing Politic, your boy BG. Time to talk a little bit more boxing politics. Talk about what's going on, some of the fuckery with the WBC and the upcoming fight with Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. But before we get started, please do me a favor, like the channel, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. It keeps us going. So let's get started. All right, the WBC has mandated. Well, Mauricio Suliman, the head of the WBC, has stated that Teofimo Lopez, should he overcome Vasily Lomachenko, has all the merits to be the new franchise champion. So this, the one of the few things I say that boxing fans can agree on is the franchise belt is a piece of shit. It's a way for fighters to duck. It's a reward for ducking. They they gave a status. They called you the franchise. You're the champion of ducking because Canelo has used it to duck Jamal Charlo. Um, Lomachenko's used it to duck Devin Haney, and should Teofimo Lopez win, that'll be his excuse to avoid Devin Haney. Um, Lomachenko was supposed to have a mandatory, according to Jake Donovan. Lomachenko was supposed to have a mandatory after he beat Luke Campbell, and that mandatory was Devin Haney. Devin Haney is the current WBC champion. He was elevated from interim status because they gave Lomachenko franchise status. Now, as we recall, the franchise belt was supposed to be for pretty much the cash cow of the sport. It was a financial title. It allowed you to jump weight classes and fight whoever would make the most money. In the WBC, they get a certain percentage of the check, so they want those fights to be available. But once you open the door for that, you're gonna have other people asking for that belt. People are gonna wonder why. First, they're gonna say, "Oh, you just made a Canelo belt. This the WBC. We back Canelo. We be corrupt." Yeah. So you made this belt just for this fighter, which is what they did. They changed quite a few rules for him. After that, then comes the next people asking, and next up was Vasily Lomachenko. And since he had pound for pound status at the time, according to some, he still does between him and Terrence Crawford generally. Because of that, they went ahead and said he can be the franchise champion. Okay, so now we have one who is financially and fiscally elite, and one who is due to accomplishment and skill level elite. But then you have Teofimo Lopez, who, I mean, he's talented, but he doesn't fit either of those two. Financially, he's not bringing in the money like that. He's not selling out any area. I think he's like Nicaraguan or something like that. One of those South and Central American countries you don't really think about. You know, you only know a few of them, and I think he's from one of those other ones. So it's not like he has a great fan base. So that financial aspect, that's not really there. And then the other aspect, the elite talent, I mean, he would have beat Vasily Lomachenko, but that's only one person. So that doesn't put you as like a pound for pound. You don't have a record of doing this over a period of time. So I don't think he would deserve that status. And most people would agree with me. So I don't understand how he gets that belt. But we know why it is. It's one of two reasons. It's one of two reasons. So as we recall at first, Teofimo was debating whether he was going to take the fight because he wasn't getting enough money. So he was playing hardball at the table, at the negotiation table, and the WBC probably wanted to fight. I mean, looking at the current landscape, champions aren't fighting like that. So this organization is starving. They're not they're not eating right now. So they wanted that fight. They wanted a piece of that check. They wanted some of his 1.2 million. They wanted some of whatever Vasily Lomachenko is getting. So what they go and do? They say, hey, all right, if you accept that, you become the franchise. Not only are you holding the other three belts, but you'll be the de facto real champion by being the franchise champion. Because that's all they're going to say. They're going to say, well, he beat the guy who actually earned the belt. So people are going to consider like Devin isn't the real champ. So he gets to walk around and claim undisputed. So that's one thing. That's one route it could have went. The other route, and which may be a little bit more sensible, is this was backhand dealing on the hand of Top Rank, because they're the ones who put Lomachenko as the franchise champion. They requested that, and that's according to Suliman. That's according to Carl Moretti, from what I recall. So you have these two instances where you have that, and then you have like the fact that Teofimo Lopez is being given the opportunity to be made franchise. This benefits Top Rank directly because they can act as if they have an undisputed champion at 135, regardless of who wins, because all the belts are on the line with the Top Rank except the WBC real belt, the actual super championship, the one with the lineage, the one that Devin Haney holds. So this new belt, they'll pretend that he's the champion, undisputed, and it doesn't put them at risk of having to fight Devin Haney and all those belts. Leave Top Rank and ESPN and go elsewhere. It keeps who else has a belt? It keeps well, not a belt, but at 35, it keeps Tank Davis away from those. It keeps Ryan Garcia away from that. It keeps Devin Haney away from that, because 135 is a stacked division, but it's going to be as far as the belts go, Top Rank is going to just try to hold them all on the inside, and that's the game they're going to play with it. All due to this franchise tag, this thing that makes their rankings worthless. Like, what does the WBC ranking really matter when it can't put you in line to actually fight the person that you claim is your champion, your franchise champion, your elite champion, or whatever? So the WBC, I mean, since the original guy passed away, his son is run that. I mean, it was already bad, but they had some endearing qualities. Now it's a piece of shit, and it's first off, it was a Canelo belt. Now it's whoever's, man. As long as you they're the only fans of boxing. You know what I'm saying? They're the only fans. Pay me right, I do whatever. So we gotta we really need to get away from the sanctioning bodies. I respect the IBF. They have one belt. They make you fight your mandatories, but the thing is, the mandatories are soft. Like, I won't say soft like in the chest. They just like soft touches. You know what I'm saying? They're not the best fighters, and that's the only downside of the IBF, because they're gonna make you do it. And then they have the weight clause, so they don't want weight draining and all that. You got to be fit for the weight class. So the only true sanctioning body I see in that regard is the IBF. Their weakness is they don't have the right people fighting for their championship. But yeah, we'll see with this Lopez and Lomachenko situation. It's disappointing to say the least. I mean, the sanctioning bodies used to be a way to break through the loggerheads, to allow fighters to go across networks and streets and fight the other tough competition across the way. But now we're seeing they're willing to be a tool to get in the way if it's the best thing for their bottom line. If the promoters want it and they pay the right way, they'll make that happen. But yeah, this is just more boxing politics. You know what I'm saying? That's why the show's name what it is. But it's been real. Again, please like, share, subscribe so that we can keep going. And y'all take it easy. I'll catch you next time. Peace.